Hello there, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Conor here, and we are back with a stream, a Leeds United stream where we've actually won a game, which is fantastic to talk about, isn't it? 7 points out of 4 games for Javi Gracia, the Messiah, the Saviour, hopefully. And Leeds United have just put me through the absolute ringer, everybody. Just so anxiety-ridden watching this football club. I didn't really expect much today. I thought, Wolves have obviously turned it around a little bit. They've beaten West Ham at home, they've beaten Tottenham at home, and I thought this was going to be a really difficult task. Obviously, Julian Lopetegui's come in and doing a really, really good job. I think he's picked up 17 points for Wolves, so it's a very different result in comparison to last year when they were a little bit iffy. I think it's a fantastic result for Leeds United today, scoring 4 goals at Molineux. I think is going to be, I don't think any other team will do that this season, to be quite honest with you. Got a little bit ropey towards the end, but we managed the game. Another red card for Wolverhampton Wanderers against Leeds United. Seemingly, they get a little bit riled up by Leeds. The crowd seem to be absolutely vicious today, which is fantastic. It bodes for a very good Premier League game. But it just does prove that any time Leeds United come to town, there is a party in the home end. And listen, it's been for the wrong reasons this season. But isn't it great to be on the right side of a win, a right side of an away performance, and the right side of the relegation zone? Leeds United moving out to 14th. Listen, results haven't gone perfectly for us, but Bournemouth did get hammered by Aston Villa. Southampton scored in the last minute against Tottenham, but I do still think Southampton are in big, big trouble. And listen, Leeds needed this today. And when you look at there being an international break now, it's fantastic. Leeds can really recuperate, reinvigorate, get players back to full fitness, and really, indoctrinate themselves into Javi's plans. And the reason I was tongue twisted there and said Jesse is because we started quite well under Jesse Marsch when he came in. Obviously, there was a famous win at Molineux as well. But I think hopefully in this period of time, Javi will be able to really, really get his methods into this Leeds United side, and hopefully we're able to really, steer clear of this relegation zone. Although I do still think we'll be in the midst of it. I do think it's going to continue. Wins against Forest, wins against Palace, maybe even something if we're dreaming against Arsenal would really, really help Leeds. But a fantastic win away today against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I'm going to get into a few of your comments. As I said, everybody, I am on my break at work, so if you wouldn't mind slapping a like on the video, that'd be fantastic. Joe's in the building. Hiya, mate. I'm sure the watch-along was a good one today. Conor, are we staying up? I'm not going to put my neck on the line because I always get it wrong. But maybe. Who knows? 14th in the league. Yeah, Wolves Dave will be gutted. Yeah, head on over to Talking Wolves, and I'm sure Dave will be doing something in his car, moaning about Leeds United and probably the referee. I mean, I was watching a stream where the co-commentator, I don't know if you guys got the same stream as I did, but the co-commentator was clearly a Wolves fan. And it made it all the better to watch, I have to say. He was whinging about their goal, our goal at the end, Rodrigo's finish, and saying it was a foul on Traore, which it wasn't. It was a simple tug on that massive guy's shirt, and Traore went down. It was soft as. It was never a foul. Didn't clear up the Johnny Otto horrendous challenge, which should have been a straight red card, by the way, an actual leg breaker. The co-commentator, whoever it was, wasn't interested. But yeah, overall, I think Leeds edged it. I do believe that over the 90. I think there was many counter-attacking positions where Leeds should have done better. I was really, really irritated by Brendan Aronson in this game. Just his decision-making, everybody. I mean, listen, that guy could get in the gym for about 4 years. It's not going to help the football IQ up here. Just sometimes these situations he gets himself in to play the correct ball, and he just never, ever seems to get it right. Although there was one cut back to Bamford where Harrison should have scored, which he did get right. But aside from that, his game has just got to get so much better for the amount of money we paid for him. Just going on individuals, I thought Rocker played well today. McKennie played well today. Verba was immense. Meslier made some terrific saves, you have to say, especially the point-blank effort from Raul Jimenez, which it's always great to not see him, get on the score sheet. But Adama Traore came on and caused problems. But I fully believe if Junior Firpo isn't on a yellow card, he doesn't cause us that many problems. Thank God he's just got no end product there. Finally, a win. Let's give Rasmus some love. Yeah, staggering. I couldn't believe that. As soon as he came on, I'm sure you guys can speak on what I was saying as soon as he came on the pitch. I wasn't saying anything personal about Rasmus. I just didn't really understand the substitution. I think, you know, it's a negative substitution for me. And at that moment in time, I felt the best course of Leeds United, for Leeds United to win that game was to attack the game, because we sit back, and as soon as we sit back, you saw Wolves coming on a little bit, and listen, we just looked like it was a matter of time before they get back in the game. I was saying to the person who was with me at the time, they're going to get back into this because it's just so Leeds, and they did, and it was like, no, come on Leeds, prove me wrong, please prove me wrong. And thank God we managed to get the fourth at the end. But yeah, so many Wolves tears in that game. It was fantastic. JP says, hi Conor, great win for the game, 7 points from 4 matches, says Helen. Rasmus for Nonso had me fuming for about 30 seconds. It did as well. It was a great finish. But I will say, even though Rodrigo scored at the end and, you know, great finish, I do think there was the period where Bamford was brought off where we lost a lot. I thought Bamford was battling very, very well against Dawson. And when he was brought off, I did think we lost a little bit going forward, to be quite honest with you. I thought that hold-up play, getting Leeds up the pitch, was a big problem. I thought it was a big issue. Rodrigo comes on, losing a little bit, still looked a bit sluggish, a bit rusty, scored at the end, fantastic, and that's seemingly what you get from Rodrigo this season. I don't think he's been great in-game, but he's finishing, he's scoring, he's getting assists, so you can't really complain. But I think the overall play was affected when Bamford went off, because I think we lost a lot of hold-up play. We weren't able to go direct when Rodrigo's up there, which I think when you're under pressure, you need to go direct. So, yeah, listen, Harrison as well, I'm going to say, fantastic. You know, got his goal, didn't he? Got his goal, set Leeds off, another fantastic finish. Keep it up, Jack. Let's see this for the remainder of the season. Let's see you step up and be the man. And I call on Jack Harrison, as you guys know, all the time, because the guy's potential is so high, his ceiling's so high, but he doesn't deliver enough and consistent enough for me, for Leeds United. I'm not comparing him to an Aronson. I'm not comparing him to a Somerville, because I think Jack's ceiling is higher than those two players, to be honest with you. That's what I literally want to see, more consistency from this kid week in, week out. And if we see that, then fantastic, and we've got a guy who's going to keep us in the Premier League this year because his ceiling's so high. But yeah, great finish from him to start the game. I thought Willie was brilliant as well, hence why he should start every single game, getting an assist. Great pullback for Harrison's goal. And Luke Ayling as well, another shout out to him, another really good, really solid performance from Luke, I thought, defensively as well. And yeah, Pat P, appreciate that, mate. Good to see you smiling. And it is because, you know, when you come on this channel and when you're speaking about the club that you adore, absolutely adore, and you're coming on here and being negative all the time and being pessimistic, it's draining, it's horrible. I want to come on here and talk about Leeds in a positive manner. I want to talk about my club winning games, even drawing matches if it needs to be. You don't want to come in here and be talking constantly about Leeds losing. It's so draining, honestly, especially when you run a fan channel. Gabe says, McKennie to sprinkle Wolves' tears on his burger. Yeah, definitely. All of our luck rolled into one match. Yeah, yeah. Dr. Jekyll. Yeah, you're not blaming Jesse anymore. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What? Weird comments sometimes. Very, very odd. Let's have all Rasmus haters where you are. Calm down. It's one game. It's not even a game. It's 20 minutes. Calm down. All right, we'll see Rasmus have good spells, and then yeah, let's see what happens after that. Enzio says, I think it was more Nonto coming off, losing impetus going forward. Bamford didn't do well and near enough for me, Conor. But Roddy definitely not as fit yet. Luke stuck well with it. Shocking first half. I don't know if he was shocking first half. I thought he defensively did okay, to be quite honest with you. But I do agree. I thought Nonto and Bamford coming off at the same time. I did look at Grazia, and everybody's going to look at Grazia's subs now when Rodrigo scored and we won the game and say, oh, fantastic, you know, brilliant. I did think that affected Leeds, and I don't think they look massively tired, to be honest with you. So I did question his sub, and will still question his subs, even though Rodrigo scored. But overall, Leeds managed the game. We came out winners. We were victorious, and we head to 14th in the table, which is brilliant from being 19th at the start of the day. And it just shows you how close and how tight this division is. Guys, please make sure you like the video as well. I've not gone live a lot as well, and I am just taking a quick break. This is my lunch break at work, everybody. So coming on here to do this with you guys is fantastic. So please make sure you slap a like. It is free. Jamie Dixon said I had to go on a walk at 3-2. Jamie, At 3-2, mate, I am just turning around and I'm like, and the person who's there with me is literally taking it. If you want to see me at 3-2, go look on the One Leeds Twitter and see me at 3-2. I'm hunched over, and bags on my eyes. I can't believe it. And she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. She sat there and he's like, it's fine, it's 3-0. And I'm saying, it's not 3-0 when you're Leeds United. We know as Leeds fans what happens. We sat back. They started to come on. Neves dictating for a little bit, and then they took him off, which I thought was a bit odd. But then 3-1, 3-2, and you're thinking, I'm turning around and I'm going, this is what happens. This is what happens. It's just not comfortable. It's never, ever, ever comfortable being a Leeds fan. But thank God after Otto went off, and you know, I think he screwed Wolves a little bit, to be honest with you. After he went off, I thought Leeds managed the game a lot better when they went to 10 men. And as soon as that happened, you know, Leeds were able to really sort of mitigate against anything Wolves threw at them. But there was a period, we all know, from around about, I don't know what happened, from about 55 to 70 minutes, Wolves were all over us. And we really, really struggled, I thought. So, yeah, thank God. We got through that one, and it's another win against Wolves at Molineux. Jonathan Doze is hard on the nerves, but what a game. Yeah, Chula Fala says 3-2, I'm laying bricks. Dead set, yeah, 100%. I'm just absolutely killing myself. At 3-2, you're just like, come on, Leeds. No, not again. And do you know what I said? And I stick by this. I turned around and I said, at 3-2, if we either draw or lose this game, we're down. Honestly, that's what I thought. And I'd have stuck by that. I'd have come on here and I'd have said that. 100%, because that's bottle, that's mentality. And when you're against the Wolves side, who were nowhere near what Wolves have been under Lopetegui at home this season, I'm sure Dave and all the Talking Wolves lads will attest to that. If you lost that game or drew that game, you're down. Because that just shows for me that the mentality of this side, when you are superior to the other side on the day, in my opinion, if you cannot cull a 20-minute period where they're on top, you are going down, in my opinion. And I think that would have been a real issue going into this international break, and I wouldn't have been able to pull a spin on that, especially when you've lost a three consecutive leads earlier on in the season to Tottenham Hotspur as well. You had to see that game out. Being 3-0 up. Great result, 3 points out of 12 in the league. Yep, 100%. That was a foul. It was a leg breaker. It was a disgusting tackle. Laporte says, I said that as well, Conor. The players knew it too. We got away with it, we did. Did anyone see Rodrigo go down? It looked like he hurt himself. I nearly cried thinking he was gone again. I did, I remember that. But it was, yeah, as everybody is saying, 3-2. That game was just, it was horrible. Horrible at 3-2. And fair play to Wolves, credit to Wolves. They came on, and isn't it classic Leeds that Matthias Cunha scores not only against us because we were interested in him, but isn't it ironic that he scores against us? And I believe that was his first goal in about 15 months or something ridiculous like that. We all know what it is when it comes to players not scoring against Leeds United, and then out of nowhere, I think it happened with Kovacic as well. But did he score against us, or was that a different game? I can't quite remember. You guys, no, it wasn't. It was Fofana, wasn't it? Apologies, but it always seems to happen, doesn't it? Against Leeds United, the players who never score seem to score against Leeds. Ilian was decent too. I thought Melee played really well, especially that stop that he made when Jimenez was about to put it in the back of the net. I mean, that was a fantastic save, a real top save. Issue in the building. Hiya, mate. Thanks for your donation. Really appreciate that. Cheers from LA Con. A massive result. Would have liked to have seen Cine or Rutter come on. That's another point, mate. We didn't even introduce Sinisterra or Rutter, which is going to be good when it comes to recovery. I think Sinisterra, he doesn't want to push him too far because he's going to be absolutely pivotal in our running. Come on for Harrison towards the end, but can't complain much about the tactics or sub. Feel like that's the type of game Marsh would have lost. Well, I guess Marsh did win that game, but yeah, and the problem is everybody's going to draw comparatives. Everybody's going to say, well, Marsh only won that game because Wolves had a man sent off, and that is true, really. I mean, Leeds were dominant in the second half. Wolves went to pot, and I don't think they went to pot when Johnny got sent off, but I do think obviously there was a bit of a little bit of an almost, they weren't able to be as as pragmatic and as forceful going forward because they didn't have the body on the left-hand side. But yeah, naturally that once again culled them a little bit. But I do feel that overall Leeds were good enough for that win, just for me. So I think he managed a decent game. But yeah, Martin, I'm in the same camp, mate. They're going to absolutely kill me. They're going to absolutely kill me. JG says, I wasn't impressed with Paddy today. Yeah, I still think that there's a huge problem with him when it comes to end product. There was actually a point where him and Aronson were 1-2 in it, and it was 2-on-1. It was 2-on-1, and then for some reason, instead of Paddy taking it on his left foot and striking across the goalkeeper, he tried to pass it back to Aronson, and it went out of play on the other side. And it's like, just take it on your left foot and shoot. And I think that's the thing. We've all said this. Rodrigo is the ruthless finisher. Rodrigo is the efficient finisher. We know that. However, Bamford, for me, when it comes to hold-up play, when it comes to bringing the midfielders into the game, when it comes to Leeds winning the second ball off Bamford, is a better striker when it comes to that side of the game than Rodrigo is. But it's so evident that when it comes to finishing, Rodrigo is just miles ahead of Patrick Bamford, for me anyway, and will take shots on goal, and he's not afraid. Bamford, a lot of the time, it's that final ball, it's that extra touch, it's that shot on goal that we need that he doesn't provide at points. And I think Rodrigo, you almost need a injury-free hybrid of Rodrigo and Bamford, and then it'd be absolutely perfect. But unfortunately, we don't have that, and I think that's maybe where the club are going to have to address that still in the summer. Both Wolves goals, jammy. Yeah, I mean, that first one was, I mean, you couldn't believe that, could you? You could not believe that. I just thought, yeah, just typical. And then obviously Kuna's just bounced in off Verba, which I thought he was quite unlucky with today. Can we smile a bit on an international break? Hopefully, Gail. I think that's going to be a positive one. Other results have gone our way too. Bournemouth, Southampton, Forest, Wolves, Leicester. None of them have won yet. And I think Everton are playing now. Let me just have a look at the score. Still 0-0. We know what's going to happen. Don't we, with Everton? They'll go there and they'll be sticking 10 men behind the ball. It's Dyche, isn't it? And unfortunately, it's probably going to be a case where Everton get a point. It wouldn't surprise you. I mean, Chelsea aren't impressive, really. I mean, another won 3 games, but they barely beat us, and we weren't great there. So yeah, they're probably going to get a draw. That wouldn't surprise me. I still think Everton will be fine, to be honest with you. But yeah, we had a good ref. Yeah, apparently, according to Wolves fans, it's the worst referee known to man. I've seen already that. Apparently that his performance needs looking into, but it was the exact same last season when we went to Molineux, wasn't it? Incredibly, like, they're the most unlucky team ever. Listen, fair play. I've been in a few Wolves fan channels this week, and fair play to Wolves. It seems like Leeds just absolutely rattle Wolves, and the refs are always the worst in the world, and Wolves deserve to win, and there needs to be a check on VAR and all this sort of stuff, and it all seems to be against Wolves. But there was a real period in that game where Leeds weren't getting any decisions whatsoever, and it was actually, consequently, when Wolves went 3-2 up, there was fouls on Junior Firpo, not given. Adama Traore fell over and Matt Rocker got a yellow card. It seemed like at one point every single Leeds player were getting a yellow card. I mean, in the first half, they wanted a penalty. That, for me wasn't a penalty. And listen, you might say it's biased, but their goal at Leeds' goal at the end, when the co-commentator on this stream I was watching was absolutely shambolic, and he was essentially turning around and saying it was a pull on Adama Traore. He barely touched Adama Traore. I mean, Traore got one about 20 minutes earlier where he fell over, and it was with Mark Rocker as well, wasn't it? And Rocker gets a yellow card. He's barely touched him for the 4th goal, and this co-commentator is screaming for a foul, and obviously Núñez gets sent off for Wolves on the sideline. It was just seemingly like, crybaby-ish, to be quite honest with you. I must have had the same stream. Oh, honestly, Graham, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but this co-commentator was something, he was staggering. I mean, as I mentioned at the start, the Johnny Otto tackle, which is a leg breaker on Luke Ayling, he's like, oh, simple yellow card, yeah. But then when Rocker literally tugs big Adama Traore's top, it's a disgrace and it's a foul. But yeah, anyway, you always get this, don't you? Wolves' penalty shout was very weak. Yeah, definitely. But yeah. Jay's in the building. Hi, Jay. Good afternoon, Conor. I finally came down after that one great result. Yeah, God, stressful, mate. Stressful. I don't think it was Chris Sutton, Gary. I don't think it was. It could have been, but I'd have been very surprised, mate. I would have been. Obviously, there's no real Wolves link there, and it felt anyway like there was a Wolves link there. It seemed to be when the goal was disallowed, when the goal wasn't given. When the goal was given to Leeds United, he literally audibly went, "Oh no, that's ridiculous!" And it's like, "What the heck, mate? Like if you're impartial, as you should be, if you're co-commentating." Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, to be quite honest with you. Watching in Los Angeles, same commentator. Who was he? I don't know. A lot of people saying Chris Sutton. It was David Phillips, says John. I don't know if that's. I don't think it was Don Goodman. We all know what Don Goodman sounds like. But David Phillips, potentially. That's a name I've not heard before. But overall, guys, massive win for Leeds United. Really impressive. 4 goals away from home. No Tyler Adams as well. No Tyler Adams. No Tyler Adams, great result. And I actually thought, to be fair, him and Rocker and McKennie did okay. Wolves were getting a bit of joy, I thought, through the middle, but I'm not 100% sure Tyler Adams would have sorted that. To be honest, I don't think maybe he'd have broke up play a little bit more, but maybe you'd have lost a little bit of passing efficiency in the middle. I thought there was decent passing efficiency from McKennie and Rocker. I thought they worked quite well, and it just shows, doesn't it? It just shows when you actually have a midfielder who can come in, i.e. when Adams goes out, McKennie can come in. That is just a quality replacement. And isn't that great? That's what we didn't have for years. Forshaw had come in. Dallas had come in without any disrespect, but he's not a midfielder. And problems would occur. When is the debrief? Conor, the debrief will be on Monday night. We may do it on Sunday night. We'll wait and see. But I think it's Mother's Day, so Mother McGilligan is coming to Manchester. How did Jack Harrison play? He was all right. I mean, he scored, so that's positive, I guess. But guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Strout looked good as well, which was great. Him getting a few minutes. I'm gonna leave it there. Before you leave, please make sure you like the video. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? And guys, isn't it great to talk about Leeds United in a positive slant? Wolves 2, Leeds 4. Wolves 2, Leeds 4. Going to an international break. Guys, have a good one. As I say, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.